Washington channel. Today we are going to do an online review on the Water Tower Loop in Issaquah, Washington, also in Grande Ridge Park. So, just to clear things up, I always get most of my resources from Trailforks because that's where most people can give information about the trail and what's going on there currently. Like, for example, they have the status, the green check on 4 days ago, the time I'm uploading this video. So, the Water Tower Loop is a green trail, or I should say loop, around the Grande Ridge Park, the second half of it, because if you know the Grande Ridge Trail, then you would be familiar with, like, you would go on the trail and then you'd be at that half point street, Grande Ridge Drive, where it separates the two trails. And then about half a mile into the second half of the Grande Ridge Trail, you'll come across the Water Tower Loop start. And basically, the Water Tower Loop, why it's named that, is because in the Issaquah Highlands, at the very, very top, there, like, for access on, like, streets, not public, but, private, there's the water towers. And you can actually see them from a point here, I think, like, around this gigantic, like, sea, kind of. I don't know how to say it. But, yeah. And so, for the start, there's a little bit of climbing, not too much. The grade's about, the highest grade I think is like 17, 18, and then, well, I mean, there's harder on Grande Ridge, because I think at the start here, it's like 40, I don't know, I might be getting confused with the east climb, because I think the beginning of this is like 48, like the steep rocks and stuff. But when you get to around the downhill part, you can actually see a view. Like, if you're going, like, let's say, because when you get to a certain area, and you look to the left, you can actually see, like, the Seattle, maybe even the Olympic Mountains if it's a clear day. And, also, I forgot to mention, when you're on the trail, if you look to your right, there's a lot of dead trees, but you can look and you can probably see a couple of mountains. Might even be able to see Mount Si, Loci, all the trails around Rattlesnake, Washington, the general. And, yeah, if this is the best view I've seen, I'm gonna strive, like, the best view I've seen on the Water Tower Loop, around, like, somewhere around here, like this premise. I've seen all the way to Mount Baker, which is like, is this Mount Baker? Yeah, this is Mount Baker, and it's pretty tall. So it's really cool, because it gives you a view of most of West Washington and north, and that's why I think the Water Tower Loop is a really good trail. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the basic stuff. So the distance is 2 miles, which I think is really wrong, because it took me like 30 minutes to complete this trail. And I usually do 2 miles in like maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And wow, this was it felt like 4 actually. And there's 162 feet of a climb. Pretty general for a green trail. Negative 219 foot descent, and yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. So around this premise of the area, like the highest peak, like almost the 1,200 feet area, you start to go down, and it's kind of like a flow trail, kind of like, if you know what I'm talking about, boot camp at Duthie Hill. I might make a video on that soon. And yeah, it just goes down for a while. Then once you hit around Spruce Coaster, which is the blue trail, that's when the climb begins back up. It's not really a climb. It's more like flowy, like not many downhills like that are really big, but like kind of flowy, like easy on you, if that makes sense. And there's pretty normal grades. The highest one is like 11. Um, and so yeah, the climb back up isn't actually too bad. Um, like I've said, I've done the water tower loop before, and it's actually pretty general. Um, I actually went in January, and I still saw some ice on here. So yeah, it all depends. Like if you want to go for a ride here, it all depends on the weather condition, etc., etc. Um, the local popularity is 85 in mountain biking, which is actually I think is pretty good. Um, and yeah, here's some photos by the way. Um, they're mostly just like falling down trees and stuff. There's no actual photos of the view or the water towers actually, but I will be making a video on the full water tower loop soon, and I will be releasing the like summit of it, kind of like around. Actually, it was around here, not there. Um, but like the full summit of the water tower and loop, and like show like the view and the water tower mainly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And I will see you again. Bye.